over at undercountrymusic.com. And for those of you just checking in with us here, I am hanging out with KOEHLER, country artist from Minnesota, and he's telling me all about his new album. We just played a song, and you can hear all that if you go over to undercountrymusic.com. Anyway, Corey, say hello to all the people out there in talk show land.
Hello, talk show land people. How do you do?
They can't answer you.
Well, I can feel them.
Well, Corey's got a brand new album out. It's called FM, and he's been sitting here yakking with me about it, and he's doing something kind of unique where he kind of introduces all the songs on there as though he's a radio DJ, and you can get it for free over at planetcorey.com. You can get the whole album as one big, long MP3, and he'll send that to you, won't you?
That's right.
All right. Well, we're going to get into the undercountry music news at this time. Have you listened to the show before, Corey? Are you familiar with the undercountry music news?
I've listened to the show, but I didn't listen long enough to get the undercountry music. I'm sorry. I'm being honest with you.
Oh, that's okay. Believe me, I look at my statistics. I see how long it is before most people punch out, and it's usually about 10 minutes into the show. They get, what's this crap? I'm out of here. This ain't no Brantley Gilbert song. I can't keep talking about this because we got to get into the undercountry music news. Here's what the undercountry music news is. Undercountry music news, I go on to Google each and every week. I put in the search term country music news, and whatever shows up on the front page of Google, whatever websites show up, I check them out. And most of them have a bunch of People magazine garbage, National Enquirer, and it's a lot of them. What it is, it's the artists and the artist management send them their press releases about whatever stupid thing they cook up out of their head, and these websites just put it on their pages as though it's news, and they call it news. And I mean, I'm talking, crap like, Miranda Lambert's new navel piercing, or or where else does Brantley Gilbert like to shave? Things like that. Oh,
nice. I like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, I was checking out the Brantley Gilbert video the other day for Bottoms Up, and I noticed they're really trying to get people to call him BG, because there was like a girl in the video she goes, when they're doing all the bad acting at the beginning, she's going, "Oh, hey, BG, you ready for the big moonshine run?" And he goes, "Yeah." And then she walks off, and then another girl comes up right away, and you can tell they're trying to get everyone to call him BG. She goes, "You ready to go, BG?" It's like okay, whatever, But anyway, I just thought that was kind of hokey. But anyway, where was I? I got lost in a Brantley Gilbert fog there. Oh yes. On each of these websites, about 8 out of 10 stories are garbage on most of them. And so what I do, so people don't have to sift through all this BS, what I do is I shovel the pile of BS for you, and I put it in my filtering screen, and I shake it, and I shake it, and I shake it, because I know that much like an African diamond mine worker, that these places have swallowed little gems. And so when I sift all the poop out, a lot of time I slice it up real fine. It's a stinky job, by the way, but every once in a while I'll find that one little diamond of country music news, and that is what I hose off and bring to the listeners of Undercountry Music News every single week.
All right. Let's do it.
And that's what there is one other thing. Were you planning on going for a career in mainstream country radio by any chance, Corey?
Was I?
Mm-hmm.
No, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at, honestly,
I'm just letting you know that after this segment, you'll have absolutely no career in mainstream country radio or country music. Just preparing you, just so you can hit the eject button now if you so choose. So.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a trick question.
No, are you strapping in for the ride? You ready to put your career in peril?
All right, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Oh yes. One thing I forgot to mention. Oh yes, the peril. One unlucky website each and every week who does the worst job of bringing undercountry music news or country music news gets rewarded with the Undercountry Music News Wet Belch of the Week. That's right. And here we go. Over at CMT. CMT sucks as usual. Not one single news story, just a bunch of press releases, as I explained earlier, from top artists and their management companies. Now, that's pretty low-hanging fruit. It would be so easy to give CMT the belch every single week. And every once in a while, like once a month, they surprise me and they come out with one or two stories that I can bring you. But not this week. It's all country crap music television. So there you go. Over at countryweekly.com. And by the way, you ever check in with CMT over there, Corey?
No. Usually if I'm going to look into country music, I go to Saving Country Music. That's usually where I like to go, because then I listen to Triggerman rant kind of like you are right now about mainstream country.
Oh, Saving Country Music.
You ever go there?
Is that a podcast?
No, that's a website. You would love that. The way you're talking right now, you would love that. They just sit there and debate this stuff all day long.
I would love to check that out. I think the only reason why it's not on my radar is just because I'm way too lazy, and I just go to the front page of Google and I report what I find there, and then I just complain and bitch and piss and moan about not being able to find good stuff.
Hey, if it wasn't for them, I would never would have found out about Corb Lund. You know what Corb Lund is?
Not a clue.
No? Okay. Well, check him out, too. Anyway, just go to that website. You'll totally get it. They'll sit there and break down stuff like whether C.W. McCall is rap country or not, They get pretty deep. So anyway.
All right. Anyway, we're going to move on to countryweekly.com. Ray Price's final recordings are going on sale. Now, many of you may recall that he did pass away a few months back. And the new, and I would assume final, Ray Price album, but, they have a habit of digging things out of the archives every once in a while and repackaging, so I'm not going to say final album. But anyway, this last Ray Price album is called Beauty Is, and it includes duets with Vince Gill and Martina McBride. Now, one hope that I have is that they do not use the picture that was used on this article over at Country Weekly, because it looks like something out of Reader's Digest. I mean, it's a black and white close-up with really boring font. It's like, Times New Roman, or something that you'd find in like Word or something, for the lettering, and it sort of looks like he doesn't have his bottom dentures in. I would think they'd dress up his final album a little bit better than that, But then again, you got to consider the audience. So my question for you, Corey, is how much time do you spend with the Reader's Digest?
0. I mean, I used to read it when I was at my parents' house because it was on the toilet, but other than that, no, I don't ever pick it up, or I don't even think I've seen one in a while, so probably 0 is the answer to that question.
Yeah, the Reader's Digest was kind of a toilet read, wasn't
it? Yep.
You could read like all of Jaws in one poop. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, when you can get your entire, huge thick book, and you can boil it down into one, what would you call it? Excrematory experience. I mean, there you go. One fecal passing, then you've really got it. That's talent. That's kind of like what I do here on the Undercountry Music News, isn't it?
Well, you'll be the judge of that.
The Undercountry Music News is the internet broadcast perfectly designed for your toilet listening pleasure. And I'm sticking to that.
All right.
All right, over at GAC, the only thing they got is the only thing that usually... Oh, actually, they do have a couple of things. All right, good. I don't have to just rely on the recipe this week. But they do have a great recipe from Krystal Keith in the kitchen. It's Krystal's recipe for caramel buttercream to top your cupcakes with.
Sounds good.
I know. I'm saying. Do you do a lot of baking in Minnesota?
There's baked goods everywhere in Minnesota. There's nothing else to do in the wintertime besides eat. So we all get fat, eating a lot of good food. That's what happens, man. It's everywhere. And then you got to work it all off when the spring hits. So it's kind of a vicious cycle.
Yeah, but that tough.
Unless you're into like skiing or something.
Yeah, I guess so. But me, I'm into warmth personally. So my gas and electric bills in the wintertime are just you don't even want to see them. Or my wife's even worse though. She cranks the heat though. I can, I'll put on a sweater or something. But anyway, caramel buttercream top your cupcakes with. Now they got another story over there at GAC, and it is Country Music Hall of Fame member Mel Tillis. The stuttering country guy. I think he actually got over his stuttering, didn't he? Like a couple decades ago, he finally got over the stuttering thing. Unlike me.
I think I saw him when I was a really little kid. He came through my town. But I was barely old enough to remember stuff, so...
Yeah, well, back in those days, he stuttered.
Would have been nice.
Yeah, back in those days, he stuttered like crazy, like when he was in the Cannonball Run movie. Or what is it, Smoking the Bandit? I think it's Cannonball Run, yeah. Well, he's recovering from heart surgery right now. He went in for heart surgery about a week ago. And apparently he's recovering just fine, though. And he had this surgery in Nashville just last week. And Mel's daughter, Pam Tillis, has issued a statement assuring fans that her dad is doing just fine. And that is some good news. And I'm very happy that I get to report some good news, because I certainly don't want to belch over a guy with a heart condition.
Yeah. That
would be in bad taste, wouldn't it?
I think so.
I mean, I'm not above it, but, I like Mel Tillis, so I don't want to belch at Mel, And speaking of bad taste, here we go. Tasteofcountry.com. It's another BS fake news roll filled with stupid-ass press releases about the hairdos of the stars. I'm serious. I think when I looked, and I'm not looking at it right this second, but I think when I took my look over there was like 2 or 3 stories about country stars' hairdos, and they were all unrelated to each other. It wasn't even like, an expose, or like a feature on hairdos or anything. It was just that crappy. So you know what we do when things are just that crappy?
No, I don't. What?
The Under Country Music News Wet Belch of the Week goes to Taste of Country. You can taste... What did I have for lunch today? I had I had a hangover burger from Jonathan's Grill. And that's like a big 3rd-pound burger with a fried egg on top. And I had him leave the yolk runny so I could smash it down. And a little bacon and some barbecue sauce and mayonnaise. And I had some french fries with that. So if you're getting a whiff across the nation and across the world, it just might be the Under Country Music News Wet Belch of the Week. So now you've experienced it, Corey. Was it everything you dreamed it would be?
Maybe better. I don't know. I was expecting the worst. You said it was going to ruin my career or whatever, but I don't know. It didn't really feel threatened at all. So
yeah, well,
fine.
Yeah, I'm kind of a paper tiger, but one thing I can do is I can kick this show right over to theboot.com. Because over at theboot.com, we're going to circle right back around to Krystal Keith again. Yes, the country cookist. She has just landed an opening slot